It is the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show here on the Flex Zone podcast. Back again another week after the bye, and is a happy recap as we're ready to get right into it as the Baltimore Ravens defeat the Los Angeles Rams in a thrilling overtime victory 37-31. I got my boy, my co-host, the social media producer, the man who said today no bread, no water, none of that fluff. Let's get to the talk of the Ravens.
No bread, no water, just me.
Finish him, Daddy.
Yes, Byron, it is finishing time, and the Ravens today finished the job. Your boy Uncle Raj is here. Ravens, I see you in the chat. We're here, baby. We're here. You know what I'm saying? We're getting it started. So, yeah, man, it's a great win today. Not the win that I expected, but a win nonetheless. Definitely biting my fingernails throughout the whole game, and definitely eating a lot of meat throughout the whole game as well. But we got the victory, Byron. Um, we usually, play the highlights and all that other type of stuff. Today is not one of those days, man. Today is not one of those days. The Ravens got one of those great victories today, and you gotta take your hat off to them, man, because it was very, very intense at times, and they definitely needed this game because the rest of the way they got some really, really big, huge opponents coming up, and to get the Rams off their back is definitely a big win.
Oh, and as you say that, Raja, we can get to the injuries because I just got a notification literally as you were speaking about Kyle Hamilton. He was the major story today about his injury. It looks like he's going to undergo an MRI tomorrow to determine the extent of a knee injury. We did see him standing on the sideline throughout the rest of the game. They said his knee was wrapped. I don't have a good feeling about this, but hopefully it's something that's not season ending, but I don't have a good feeling about it. But let's get to that injury. And I think Duvernay, was he carted off, I believe?
I'm not sure. I didn't see what actually happened to Duvernay because they cut away from it on the broadcast, but I think he did get hurt. I saw a Ram get carted off. I'm not sure if Duvernay was on that same card as the Ram, per se, but something that happened to him. I'm pretty sure we'll find out later on today, or tomorrow, of course. But definitely not good. Duvernay is one of our best punt returners and kick returners on the team, but I hope he's okay. Tyler Wallace did a good job replacing him today, definitely with the game-winning touchdown. But yeah, man, I hope Kyle Hamilton is okay as well. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. I know he got hurt, and I know he went back out there, but I'm not sure if it swelled up on him or what was going on. But that these are the type of games that that we fear because the weather is so shaky and so not in your favor when it's the field conditions. And I'm just glad that nobody else really got seriously hurt. This is one of those games that Lamar probably will go down, or Odell would get hurt on. But yeah, man. Like I said before, this is a game that we had to have today, and I'm hoping for the best for those guys. But yeah, man, it was a tough game for the Rams and the Ravens. I'm pretty sure a lot of Rams players went down as well.
Yeah, it looks like it was a back injury for Devin Duvernay, so he wasn't carted off. But Tylen Wallace, the hero of today, Rise. Let's start with special teams. He hadn't returned a punt in his career before today when Duvernay went down. I didn't even realize this. And then he runs back the game-winning 70, what was that, 76-yard touchdown punt return in overtime. When we went to overtime, we were in the group chat a little worried. I think you even mentioned it kind of reminded you of the Colts game. But Harbaugh, hey man, he can pump out his chest today because of special teams. Tucker made 2 field goals, I believe, as well. They were sharp today.
I mean, now let's be honest, man. John Harbaugh is a goofball, okay? Because one, he was getting out coached, like you said in the group chat. He was getting out coached periods of his game, and that dumb challenge. He had another stupid challenge that he didn't need to even challenge. I mean, come on, man. You already know that every touchdown that is scored is being reviewed by the referees. Why are you throwing out the flag? I don't understand that. I don't get it. Everybody in the restaurant, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, was just like, What the hell are you doing? It's just goofy. But that's John Harbaugh. This is exactly what he does. But also, man, Tyler Wallace, like you said, this is his first ever return for a touchdown. I mean, that brother, we knew what he was coming out of college. He had a lot of speed on him. He just couldn't put it all together. And on top of that, he was hurt, I think, during the early part of this season. So he really wasn't able to go out there and, showcase what he can actually. Brother is getting his opportunity now, and I'm glad that he showed out, which is also was always a good thing for him. And I'm proud of him, because we're going to actually probably need him to step up, especially with Duvernay, being hurt. So hats off to him for making that key play, getting that touchdown for us at the end is only going to boost his confidence and his team confidence as well, that he can actually take the job just in case, something is seriously wrong with Duvernay and he's not able to come back. It definitely boosts his confidence and helps us along the way.
There's
But
your boy. There you go. There you go. Pumping out his chest, Raj. You know I had it on standby for you.
look at this guy, man. Such a goofball, man. You gotta love him and hate him at the same time. But John, I'm pretty sure John was at the podium for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes after this game, talking about how great his mighty men was and how great they played. And oh my goodness, I made a dumb challenge, but we got the win anyway. You know how John is, man. This is exactly what he does. I like, despite be the thought, giving the team confidence that he can step into the role, something. Like I said before, these field conditions was not favorable to the Ravens or the Rams. But I'm just glad we got out of there with a win, man. I hate raining. I hate games that are raining and these type of games. These type of games don't go in a player's favor, especially when it comes to you know just everything that goes on during the football game. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens tomorrow at his press conference.
Well, let's start with the offense, Raj. You mentioned some of the standouts. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson, over 300 yards today, 24 43, three touchdowns, one interception, was sacked twice. He carried it for 70 yards, so damn near 400 yards of offense from Lamar alone. Keaton Mitchell, 54 carries with 9 carries for 54 yards. Edwards, 6 for 15. Odell, 4 for 97. Likely 5 for 83. Both of them with a touchdown. Flowers, 6 for 60 with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Aguilar even made some big plays, 5 for 32. And Bateman, 2 for 24. Hill, 1 for 12. Mitchell, 1 for 8. Linderbaum did have the bad snap, the fumble that was a safety. But what did you think about the offense today? And Lamar and Zay, man, they were clutch in the second half, and Odell set the tone early against his former team.
Like I said before, man, they played well. I mean, Odell showed that he still got some juice left when he's healthy, and when they get him involved early, I thought he made some tremendous plays. I know he ran the wrong route for the touchdown, but you know what? Sometimes you need to do that because that's what Andrews used to do. Andrews would run whatever route he wanted to run, and usually Lamar finds him, and it's a big play. So, hats off to Odell being the veteran that he is and still able to run, cut and make those great plays that he made in the past. He still got something left, man. This is exactly what we need him for at this time of the year, December and January, and hopefully February. But hats off to him. And like I said, Isaiah Likely had his breakout game today. So he played extremely well. Zay Flowers did pretty well as well. Now, I got a lot of flack in my other chat about a certain player named Rashad Bateman. Uh, he found a way to stop running, and he's that first long throw from Lamar. Okay, I'll give it. I'll give it to Bateman on that. Bateman started running midway through the route. He should have ran all the way through. He probably would have had a touchdown. But I don't know what's going on with him and Bateman when it comes to long balls or just balls in general. But they never seem to be on the same page. He got picked off throwing the ball to Bateman again on a long play that he underthrew. But it never seems to go right with them two. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But other than that, he had a couple plays today, a couple catches. I thought Aguilar was key in some of those catches as well. He made some great plays. But the offense, other than Bateman, not playing extremely well, I thought Lamar played his ass off, man. I thought Lamar was great as far as keeping the drives alive, keeping plays centered down the field. I thought he played his ass off. He did extremely well. Uh, for a guy that was under duress a lot of the game, especially when Aaron Donald is coming at you. But he played well, man. They played well offensively. Keaton Mitchell had some pause. Pause. Keaton Mitchell had some good runs. Gus didn't really do too much today, but that's fine. But yeah, they played well. Lamar played his ass off, man. 70 yards rushing, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. I thought he did his thing today. He did his thing.
Let's get to the defense of it all. It was a little shaky early on, Raj, but they got it together enough in the second half. I mean, let's look at it. Roquan Smith, 10 tackles. Matty BK, another sack. Hamilton had 7 tackles before he went down. Brandon Stevens, another consistent game. Travis Jones with the sack. Marlon Humphrey, though, we were talking about him looking like Dumfries, getting burned by Cooper Kupp, Puka Nakua. Almost could have had the game-winning pick, dropped the ball. Uh, are you concerned with the Marlon Humphrey situation? And outside of that, what did you think of the defense? Because they were getting gash. I think what Kyron Williams had 114 yards on 25 carries, and they ran the ball like 10 straight times to open the game.
Bro, I don't know what's going on with Marlon Humphreys. This is like the second game that I've seen him play awful. Besides that Steelers game, when he came back, the first time he came back from his first injury, and he got burned by by the guy that we should have drafted, Mr. Pickens. Uh, I don't know what's going on with him, man. He just don't look right at times. And today it was one of those games where he looked awful at times. He looked really awful at times. And I know he's going to get a lot of flack during the week. A lot of people are saying this might be time to get rid of him. And I'm pretty sure the coaching staff is going to be looking to either give him a huge pay cut, or he might be on the cutting block, because we gonna need that cap space for some of these other players, man. But hopefully he gets it together, after today, and he plays a lot better. But he has some stupid penalties, and Cooper Kupp was giving him his ass to kiss a lot today. So I hope the brother gets it together. But yeah, man, not a good look for Marlon Humphreys. I'm pretty sure he's going to address it during his podcast, and hopefully he doesn't make any excuses. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Meta Beast though, another sack, another cha-ching moment for him. That's 11 on the season, so I'm happy for that brother. He is going to get a nice paycheck, hopefully by the Ravens. But he played well. Travis Jones, like you said, had another sack, and he's looking pretty good as a third-round pick that we picked up, I think, 2 years ago. So I'm happy for him as well. Patrick Queen had I think he had 3 tackles today. He was okay. Roquan made some good plays today as well. He kept the defense energized. He kept talking to everybody, especially when they had that rocky first half. They was coming off the bye week. They was feeling themselves. They was like, you know what, we got a lot of rest. We're not really worried about the Rams running the football. And then all of a sudden, the Rams just run the ball down the throats, and all in the first half. And the Ravens had to wake up during the second half. But that's why Roquan is there. That's why Roquan has control of his defense, because you need guys like him to, just to slow the pace down, man, just to get everybody refocused. And that's exactly what I saw when they were showing them on the sidelines after they was getting stop after stop after stop in most of those drives. So the Ravens started off, really slow on defense, and sometimes that happens. But they was able to overcome and, did some really good things in the second half besides Marlon Humphreys. And they made a lot of good plays that kept the Ravens in it. And, of course, Lamar led them home. So shout out to the defense. Shout out to Roquan and his leadership. and hopefully, like I said before, Kyle Hamilton is okay. I'm really hoping that brother is okay because we definitely need him on the back end. But yeah, man, they did their thing when they needed to do it, and they held the Ravens in it, and that's all you can ask for your defense from your defense.
Stafford, 23 of 31, 294, 3 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, as I mentioned, 25 for 114. Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua may be the best 1-2 combo in the league right now. 8 for 115 for Cooper Cup with a touchdown. 5 for 84 for Puka. Um, Ernest Jones had a sack. Byron Young had a sack. Nice name. Aaron Donald, no sack. Raj. They had 3 guys on this man. I guess it was what 2 for him, 1 for his sharp hairline man. They was covering everything.
He almost had 1 sack. He almost did hit. He almost got Lamar one time. I saw that, but Lamar got the ball out of his hands quickly. But yeah, man, I mean, Matthew Stafford is a champion. We all know this, man. We already know what he did in Detroit. He used to throw that ball to Calvin Johnson back in the day, sling that thing like it was no tomorrow. And he has another dastardly great wide receiver in Cooper Cup. And of course, when he gets the football, you already know, man. It's like, oh my God, this guy has it again. And he was doing things to us today that was like just had my head scratched. I was like, what the hell's going on? But Puka Nakua is great, like you said. That's another underrated player. Demarcus Robinson, man, former Raven, looked really good today. He was trying to get some revenge up out there. You know what I'm saying? But he had a touchdown pass, but couple passes he dropped, and I was so happy that he dropped them. But yeah, man, the Rams, they're a very scrappy football team, a very very scrappy football team. So it doesn't surprise me that they came out here and was fighting the whole game. Everybody thought this was going to be a blowout. I don't understand why the fans think that these games are going to be blowouts. I mean, the Rams have been playing hard the whole damn season. If you haven't not been watching them, I've been watching them off and on. They play extremely well. They just had some bad luck, and they lost a lot of key players as well. But they still got Aaron Donald. They still got Matthew Stafford. They got Puka Nakua. They got Cooper Cup. I expect those guys to fight. So I didn't expect no damn blowout today. I'm just happy to get a win from the Rams because they fighting for a playoff spot. But yeah, man, the Rams is no joke. Hopefully the Ravens learn from a lot of their mistakes today going forward to Jacksonville because we already know what happens with Jacksonville as well. I don't expect them to blow them out either. I expect that to be a close game. Jacksonville lost the last 2 games to Cleveland and who else they lose to?
They lost to the Bengals on Monday night. Remember? Yeah.
Right, they lost to the Bengals because Herbert. Yeah, not Justin Herbert.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence got hurt. Exactly. So I already know they're gonna be fighting and scratching and clawing next week in Jacksonville. I expect that to be a knockdown, drag them out. Sunday night football, Sunday night football game again on prime time. Ravens love being on prime time all of a sudden.
Get
So
get used to it the next couple weeks.
Jesus, Lord have mercy. I expect the Dolphins and Ravens to be on prime time as well.
If
You know
it's
what I'm
not on
saying?
prime time, Raj, it probably will be a
It'd be a 4 o'clock
game.
game.
Yeah,
It'd be a 4 o'clock game.
I guess that's possible.
I'll be there in person.
What a way to end and start your year.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, pretty much. Hopefully, it's good for W. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I don't expect none of these games to be blowouts or anything. And not to say that the Ravens can't do it. It's just that the other team has players too. So, like I said before, the Rams did a good job today. They tested the Ravens. The Ravens passed the test, but they got 4 more, tests to go through. And let's just see what happens down the stretch. But this was a good test today because if you like I said before, like I told D in the past, if you want to play well in the playoffs, if you want to do well in the playoffs and win playoff games, you got to pass your tests, especially against the top 10 teams because you're going to be playing. You might be playing the Chiefs, you might be playing the Browns again. You might have to play, I don't know, the Jaguars, whoever else has a
Steelers.
top 10 record. Steelers, yeah, they might wake up and find themselves back in it again. So you gotta pass these type of tests, man, because it's not easy. If you've been alive for the last, I don't know, 10 years and you've seen the last Super Bowl on the Ravens, you already know that these type of games happen like this. So glad that the Ravens passed the test, and I'm hopefully we learn from our mistakes today. And Marlon Humphrey, man, please don't get burned again, brother, because you out there looking like Marcus Peters. Jesus Christ, burnt
Perfect
toast.
segue. Perfect segue to Jacksonville. I didn't even realize Trevor Lawrence played today. I thought he was not going to play this week. He had over almost 300 yards, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he threw 3 picks. Flacco balled out, by the way, as well. We'll get into that a little later. But they got the Jaguars on Sunday night, Raj. I mean, it's not going to be easy. Jacksonville has been a house of horrors. We love Tony Khan. We love the Khan family here. But they whooped our ass when it comes to Ravens Jaguars, especially in Jacksonville.
They always whoop our ass in Jacksonville. I can't remember the last time we beat them. I can't be honest. I can't remember the last time that we actually beat them, especially in Jacksonville. But yeah, man, it's a house of horrors when we go up there. Like I said, I don't expect no cakewalk from them. They lost the last 2 games. They're gonna be fighting for their playoff lives. They don't want to lose their division. This supposed to be a season where they win the division and they do a little bit more in the playoffs because they won a playoff game last year. So I expect them to come out fighting and swinging and clawing. But Jacksonville is definitely a team that I ain't gonna say that scares me, but that's gonna give us a huge test, down the stretch. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what adjustments we make against them since we played them last year, and we already know Trevor Lawrence is going to play since he played today. When he didn't play too badly, he didn't play well either. But pretty sure that high ankle sprain was getting at him. But he'll have another week of rest, to play us. Let me give a huge shout out to my man Joe Flacco, though, man. My man Flacco was out there slinging that thing around. Yo, yeah, people gotta stop giving that man such a hard way to go, man. That brother has always been consistent, man. He might not always play his best football every now and again, but when it's time to throw a pass or make a huge clutch play, the big flag easy Joe Flacco comes through, man. And the Browns doesn't have some bad options on the offense. Got Cooper Kupp out there, got Mr. Ford out there playing well.
Hey,
I
Raj,
mean,
you remember last time Flacco had a
don't
really
want to
good
be honest
defense in
with
the
you.
running game? Remember
Look, look,
last
look,
time he had a really good defense in the running game?
I know. Look, listen to me, please, Ravens. Whatever you do,
They're going to have to play the Browns. I feel like it's going to happen.
I don't
Flacco's
want to
coming
see
back to
them.
Baltimore.
Damn it, I don't want to see
Look,
them.
listen, everybody watching, I know we don't have thousands of people in here. Raven C, Big Reg, our loyal viewers and listeners, Miss Queen, Lamar, everybody here. You can mark this down on December 10th, 2023 at 6:23 Eastern Standard Time. If Joe Flacco is still the quarterback of the Browns, and I think they're going to get in the playoffs, Raj, because they got 8 wins. I can see them getting 10. I think they will play the Ravens at some point, if not the first weekend, if the Ravens don't get the 1 seed, the second weekend, if they win, Flacco will be back in Baltimore. It's just writing itself, man. You know it's happening.
I don't want to see them. Damn it, I don't want to see them because I already know what Joe does in the playoffs. Everybody at the Ravens know what Joe does in the playoffs. He actually plays really well, and he has a good offensive line behind him. So when you have those two, key factors, and you got, playoff Flacco in the building, man, anything can happen. And I that's one guy I don't want to see. I don't mind. Matter of fact, I'd rather see the Chiefs than see him. I'd rather see the Chiefs right now than see the Browns. I don't want to see them, man, because they're a tough football team. They really are. But yeah, they might make the playoffs. They might be a wild card, and it wouldn't surprise me, especially since Joe is the guy that's going to probably be starting for the rest of the season. But yeah, man, that's a good football team over there. That's definitely a good football team.
And I think we know where your game ball may go tomorrow on the flex zone. But think about this, Raj, real quick. We're not going to talk about the Browns too much, but they have the Bears next week at home. They go to the Texans. CJ Stroud had a concussion today, so we'll see what happens with that. They play the Jets, who won today, and they play the Bengals again. So the Browns literally could win out. I mean, or win all but one, maybe. They're going to get to 10 wins.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs, man. They done found that quarterback for the rest of the season. People got to put more respect on Joe Flacco's name, man. They really do, man. If the Jets would have had him right now, they'd probably be and a better situation. But either way, it is what it is. Uh, yeah, that's all I got for that.
Any other highlights from the day? I won't go game by game. We'll do more of that tomorrow. But we did
Yeah,
see Stroud go down with an injury. We saw the Bengals win again. We saw the Browns win again. We saw the Jets beat the Texans. The Falcons falconed. The Buccaneers are in first place in the NFC South. Just some notable storylines. And the Bears beat the Lions. The Lions are struggling as well.
yeah, man. I saw the Lions game. I watched a little bit of that. It doesn't surprise me. I think the Bears are coming off of a bye week too, I believe. So they always seem to play well, especially against the Lions coming off of a bye week. I think what Justin Fields had another good day. Uh, so yeah, that doesn't surprise me. The
I think
Bengals,
they're like four and one in their last five, or they started like 0 under they're like 4 and 5. They're playing better, man. They're playing a lot better.
yeah, they waited too late to start this though, but now let's see
Don't
what
worry,
happens.
another hardball might be there.
You might be right. I thought he was going to the Chargers, but he might be going to the Bears, depending on what they do. As far as the draft. But we'll see. But I've seen the Bengals and Colts. The Colts, man, they had opportunities in this game, but the Bengals just got too many weapons, man. Too many weapons, and Mr. Browning, he's pretty good as a backup. So it is what it is for them as well. I'm pretty sure they might be make. I gonna say they're gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna make it interesting down the stretch since they got all those weapons and he's playing well. Uh, who else? Didn't the Falcons play somebody today?
Falcons lost to the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are in first place in the NFC South at what, 6-7?
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I didn't see that game. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't see that game. I ain't see. I can't even tell you about that.
Basically the Falcons falcon. That's probably the best way to put it. If you know what that means, then you understand. And the Jets blew out the Texans. CJ Stroud mentioned went down, but Zach Wilson over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Well, damn. I mean, I saw the score. I didn't know he did all that. Oh, okay. That's what they get for going away from him. He was trying to remind him, like, look, I know I suck at times, but I'm your best option to win. So, and he showed that today. So, they're pretty sure they're going to stick with him. I'm pretty sure Salah was feeling pretty good. Aaron Rodgers was feeling pretty good as well because that's his boy. He loves himself some Zach Wilson. If you was watching Pat McAfee show during the week, he said that. But yeah, man. Shout out to the Jets. They finally got a win that they definitely needed. I'm not sure if it's going to make any difference if they're going to make playoffs or not, but that is a good win for them.
27 of 36, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns for old Zach. And the Jets have the Jets have the Dolphins next week, Commanders, Browns, and Patriots. Might be interesting down the stretch.
It might be interesting. They got them 8 losses, but they can make it extremely interesting for some teams, and maybe for themselves as well. They not completely out of it just yet, especially with like you said, the Texans losing and Steelers losing, and a lot of people got like 6 losses. They got 2 more, but it's gonna be real interesting in the weeks 16 and 17 down the stretch. So we shall see, man. They might have a chance. They might have a slim chance of sneaking up in there.
I know it's raining out there, Raj. I want you to get home, but I got 2 things real quick. We just see Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes things. They cut the Buffalo lead, I believe 17-14 as he throws a touchdown to Rashee Rice. This is an interesting game because if the Chiefs win, the Bills are basically done maybe. But the Chiefs lose, that would help the Ravens out again. And that Ravens-Dolphins game is basically going to be for the number 1 seed possibly.
Yeah, man, I'm pulling for the Bills, man. I watched a little bit of that game before I came to the car. I didn't want to have that background noise. I didn't want people saying, "Oh my God, we can hear too many voices in the background." You can probably hear the raindrops. I'd rather for you to hear the raindrops than hear the voices. But yeah, man, Patrick Mahomes, you already know what he does in the clutch. He finds ways to, even with just 1 or 2 wide receivers and the tight end, he finds ways to keep things close and sometimes win. But this hasn't been the Bills' year. We all know going into this that the Bills is probably going to have somewhat of a down year, and it's showing, man. And I think Josh Allen threw a pick before I left out of there. I was like, here we go. So as soon as you start doing good things, you're 14-0, you throw a pick right the other way. So here we go. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Kansas City pulls this off. It would not surprise me at all.
And a Sunday night game I'm really looking forward to watching, Cowboys and Eagles. I mean, you can make a case for either team. The Eagles have been extremely lucky, but last week they ran into a buzzsaw of the 49ers. And by the way, speaking of the 49ers, they're playing the Seahawks. I believe Gino, your boy Raj, did get hurt. I think Drew Lock is in the game, by the way. But Cowboys and the Eagles on Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get home and watch that. I got the Eagles winning, but it would not surprise me at all if the Cowboys found a way to win. To be honest with you, I know a lot of people give the Cowboys a lot of flack, but I think this might be the best Cowboys team that they've had in a long time. Dak Prescott is playing some extremely good football today. And well, not today, but just in general, the whole season, he's been playing some really good football. He's cut down on the turnovers. He's made a lot of key plays. If they can find a way to beat the Eagles today, hell, they might steal at the NFC East from them. So we'll see what happens, man. The Cowboys can find a way to win it. They've been playing some really good football. I know it's been against a lot of the teams that are not that are under 500. I get that, but they, like I said before, they've shored up a lot of things. They can prove a lot of people wrong today if they beat the Eagles, because the Eagles right now, they started off hot, but right now this is the time of the season where you do not want to go backwards, and it looks like the Eagles might have shot their wad, as D would say, too early, and it could backfire on them down the stretch. But we'll see what happens, though, man. I expect it to be a close game. I expect it to for fireworks to come off. Hell, they might go into overtime like we did, and make it very thrilling. So we shall see, man, what happens tonight at 8:30. And so just stay tuned, man. It's gonna be a really good football Sunday night game coming up.
Big shout out to Dylan, Last Week in Wrestling Podcast. Make sure y'all
Shout out to
subscribe to
Dylan, man.
him.
Shout out to you, good brother. I know Dylan was talking about The Last of Us, I think, 2 weeks ago, man, and how much he loves that video game and the TV show. It was a great TV show, a great video game. Can't wait till season 2 comes out for HBO Max. But yeah, man. Shout out to you, Dylan. Shout out to Raven C. Shout out to Big Reg in the chat. All you good brothers out there, tuning in. And yeah, man. I'm feeling really good as a Ravens fan right now. I'm feeling really, really good, man. I talked to Engraven a little bit earlier today, man. He was pumped up for the game. Saw my boy Nitro was on earlier during his thing on his podcast. Streaming the game as well. Shout out to all the Ravens guys streaming the games. Bobby Trotter was out there fighting the weather. So,
Did his hair stay on? Did his hair stay on?
yes, yes, yes. His hair was phenomenal. He had a lot of guests on. He was doing his thing, man. He just coming back from Rome and feeling real good, man. So a lot of Ravens greatness today. We had that bye week. Everybody was inching and scratching to see some Ravens football today, and that we got we got some Ravens football, man. So it is what it is, man. Like I said before, we got the W. That's all you can ask for a Ravens fan. And I understand that it wasn't the dominant fashion, but it definitely was a game that we needed to win. We definitely needed this game. So just happy that we got it done. See what happens next week against the Jaguars. Definitely not going to be a knockdown. Well, it's definitely not going to be a blowout, like I said before. Definitely not going to be that. But I expect the Ravens to definitely show up next week, especially on Sunday Night Football, and do that thing.
Yeah, man. We did our thing here tonight. Tomorrow we will be live on a Flex Zone podcast, Raj. What is it, episode 420 or 421? I'm losing track. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a
I
lot of
think,
episodes.
I think a lot of people be smoking weed on tomorrow's show because it'll be episode 420. But we'll see, man. We'll see, man. I'm pretty sure we'll get Dre's opinion about this game. Hold on. Did Washington have a bye week today? Or this
He
week?
did have a bye week, but I do have an interesting topic that I heard. Don't think it's going to happen, but with them probably going to fire in your
Oh,
boy,
wow.
do the Steelers get rid of Mike Tomlin if they gaff down the stretch? And is he maybe a candidate for the Commanders? There's a rumor going around. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I heard earlier this week.
Hold on, before you play the music, man.
Go ahead.
I had a conversation before this show started about if Mike Tomlin gets fired, if they lose out down the stretch, Mike Tomlin gets let go. My cousin was saying, look, if John Harbaugh does not win another playoff game, you should fire John Harbaugh for Mike Tomlin. I was like, that would be great. I wouldn't mind it. I would not mind it. But to be honest with you, I think they're the same coach. And Mike Tomlin talks a good game. You know what I'm saying? He gets people fired up in the background, but he's just as stubborn as Harbaugh is. Not to say he makes stupid challenges or dumb things, but I wouldn't trust. I
So,
wouldn't trust
so
Mike
you're
Tomlin.
saying he's like his character Omar Epps, his twin on Raising Kanan, very stubborn.
Very stubborn. If you watch Raising Canaan, you definitely know that's definitely Mike. That's Mike Tomlin. Especially when he was in the car with the other officer, you definitely know.
Yeah. Makes irrational, quick decisions.
Decisions. Yes, irrational decisions. Definitely irrational decisions out there. So I don't want that. I mean, if something does happen to Harbaugh, give it to the defensive coordinator. Give it to him. Let him get a crack at the head coaching spot. I think. Be honest with you, I think he's going. I think when it's his time, he's going to be a really good head football coach. So if John Harbaugh has to go, give it to our defensive coordinator. Let him get a crack at it.
Yeah, so I'll ask Ravante about the bye week, anything newsworthy, because they didn't fire the coach. Eric B's probably not going to get a shot. And do they take a shot at a Mike Tomlin if he is on the market, which would be ridiculous in my opinion, at least after the season, considering they might not have a quarterback. Who knows? Their quarterback can't even stay healthy, so I don't even know. But we'll talk about that and more. We'll get Ravante's thoughts on the week that was, Dre's thoughts on the Ravens, and Raj will once again talk about Joe Flacco and how he was slinging it all over the field. I'm sure that will be his probably his game ball. Little tease.
No bread, no water, just meat. That's what Flacco gave us today. Just meat. So yeah, it might be my game ball. We'll see. I got to look at some other things.
Bread, no water, just meat.
Finish him, Daddy.
He was slinging that thing. But yes, we will talk about that. We'll recap week 14. It's crazy that it's week 14 already. We'll talk about the Ravens if they can keep the number 1 seed at 10-3. Hey man, if you would told me before the season the Ravens would be 10-3 heading into the Jacksonville game, I'd be very, very happy. So I'm not gonna complain too much. Yes, Harbaugh did make some goofy plays, but he can poke his chest out today because the special teams got it done.
Yeah, he definitely can poke his chest out today. Shout out to Goofy John, man. He got the job done. Although he was out coached at times, he found a way to get that W. That's all you can ask for, man. So he can poke his chest out. He can make goofy faces like the one Byron's about to show right now. There you go. Like he can make goofy faces like that today because he got the victory. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens, man. I'm pretty sure that press conference was 25 minutes, like I said before earlier. And I'm pretty sure the press conference tomorrow is going to be like about 2 hours. So we shall see, man. We shall see.
Yeah, Raj, let the people know how to keep up with the channel.
AFC North. Stay tuned for more content. Make sure you check out the show tomorrow at about 10:15, 10:20 p.m. If we're not there by then, still stay tuned in because we'll be up probably sooner rather than later during the night. But hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and check us out, man. We got a lot more content coming up, and we always, keep it funky, especially when it comes to the Ravens and definitely wrestling as well. But I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about the Ravens tomorrow some more, and definitely the Lakers tomorrow as well because they won their mid-season tournament. So stay tuned for my thoughts about that. And also, CM Punk makes his decision of what brand he's going to sign with. So stay tuned for tomorrow's show. We'll have some thoughts
Spoiler,
about that as well.
He's going to Raw. He's going to Raw. You don't have to watch. I'm spoiling. He's going to Raw. Okay.
He probably will go to Raw, but I expect Seth Rollins to have something to say to CM Punk. I expect for there to be a confrontation between those two tomorrow, and I can't wait for it because on Friday's show, even though the show was mid, CM Punk's microphone situation. Well, not his microphone situation, but his segment was great. So
He
I'm definitely
castrated him,
going.
called him not even the man of his house, man.
Yes, he castrated Seth Rollins, and it's and that was funny as hell. But just stay tuned, man. We got a lot coming up, man. A lot coming up.
Yes, episode 420, the highest sports podcast in the universe. As Rod said, we will be getting very, very high on sports. Talking about the Ravens, talking about the Commanders bye week. The Ravens, well, excuse me, the other team wearing purple that Dre and Raj root for. Indeed, the Lakers, inaugural NBA in-season tournament winners, $500,000 as the rich get richer. AD plays big. We'll talk about that as well. Yes, Raven C, we love AEW. You know, we're here every Wednesday. We're waiting for Tony Khan to send us a check, man. You know,
yes.
I wish I
Send
could
us a
go
check,
to
Tony.
Jacksonville. I wish I could go to Jacksonville next week and watch that game and maybe meet
Tony.
you, but
Tony, send free stuff. Send free stuff, Tony.
yes,
Please.
send some media, something. We'll work on that in 2024. But yes, Raven C, we love AEW despite their shortcomings and WWE's. We love both. We just want good products on weekly TV. Of course, we do the live streams for that. We may do the Ring of Honor this week. I don't know if I'm going to be home. We'll see. But definitely World's End, the end of the month, head into the new year. So big month. And of course, Ravens post-game, Ravens previews. Tomorrow we'll talk about, as I mentioned, the play-in, Week 14, Ravens, Commanders, and everything else that comes out from the Sunday night game. Do the Chiefs beat the Bills? A lot to talk about. Raj will be here, who is our social media producer. Dre, Cravante, and myself returning. FlexZone1@gmail.com, Twitter, Instagram, the FlexZone1. Only place Raj give you sports how you want it.
When you need it, hit that like, hit that subscribe button.
Yes, big ups to everybody in the chat. Raven C, Big Reg, Dylan, Miss Queen, Lamar. I saw you were in here as well. If you guys want to hit the Cash App, you can. It's down below. And we are getting out of here. Raj got to get through the rain and head home. But get home safely, Raj. We will do this again tomorrow. And until next time, hit that bell to know when we're live. And we'll be live tomorrow for the Week 14 recap, episode 420, Flex On Podcast. Have a good night, everybody. Ravens win 37-31 in overtime. 10-3, number 1 seed in the AFC. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Peace.